The Balwin Sport complex south of Johannesburg hosted the first rounds of the Cycling South Africa Cross Country, Short Track and Enduro Cup series recently. There's a bustling vibe of excitement and anticipation on the Friday afternoon ahead of the XCC racing that catered for multiple age categories. First to go were the youth women aged 15 and 16.
5 minutes to the start.
12 riders blasted away from the start on the first of 5 laps of the testing Thaba Trails course. Nadia van Wyk was the early leader, followed by Madison Bateson. It was intense racing, with Namibian Rosemary Teal in the mix as well. In the end, it was van Wyk who clocked 14 minutes flat to take the win by 31 seconds from KwaZulu-Natal's Bateson, and Teal in third, 50 seconds behind the winner. 10 junior women joined the 8 elite women on the start line for the next race. The 17 to 18-year-old juniors would do 6 laps of the short and punchy course, and the elites 7 laps. It didn't take long for Tyler Jacobs to move to the front. In her first season as an elite, 19-year-old Lillian Baber was chasing hard, but her first lap was 7 seconds slower than Jacobs, so she soon switched her focus from chasing the leader to defending her second position. KwaZulu-Natal's Jacobs is a serious talent. Training under the guidance of Tyrone White's Drivetrain Academy, she's preparing for the UCI World Cup season. Carla Kotze from Free State was some way off the pace in the junior race as Jacobs charged up behind her on her way to a classy win ahead of Summer Place's Lillian Baber.
After that first lap, I was like, cool, okay. So hold this pace for 20 minutes, but I think it was so cool being able to experience short track for the first time. So different to cross country, and I think I really enjoyed it when I finished the race.
Jacobs the winner, Baber second ahead of Carly Skierpers, Riley Smith and Zimbabwe's Stacey Hislop. Former racer turned mechanic William Magopo watching as the youth men blasted away on the first of their 7 laps. Balwin Sport have been instrumental in driving the sport to new heights by creating this world-class facility. These racers all have ambitions of taking it to the next level, and there are a few better places up country to test their speed and skill than on the Thaba Trails track here at Balwin Sport. The racing was intense and super tight. There are a few overtaking places on the track, so strategy and positioning before the single track sections was critical. The race came down to a thrilling sprint finish with Namibian Marco Teal just out-kicking Joshua Paul of KZN to take the win in 16 minutes and 35 seconds.
It was really a tough one. Some great competition out here. I mean, it's just at a different level compared to Namibia. You even battle for 4th.
Next up were the elite men.
The World Cup season is about to kick off mid-April. It's just been preparing for that really longer, slower, steadier build towards that for this year. Kind of cut out all the early season races, so yeah, shapes come along really good, much bigger base than previous seasons. So yeah, just hoping that the basal and pyramid is bigger, so the top is going to be higher. That's really the goal. So yeah, out here now, Thaba Trails, XCO C1, just to sharpen the legs before I head over to Brazil for the first World Cup.
It was a top-class elite men's field of 27 riders. The vastly experienced Philip Bass was back. Luke Moyer in his new Cube team colours was there, as were a host of young racers looking to cause an upset in the thrilling shortest format of mountain bike racing. Daniel van der Walt started like a hurricane. Led into the first single track, followed by national champion Hatherley, then Bass, Moyer and Kevin Lowe and Jordan Boshoff. Van der Walt from KZN was all power and strength. His first lap was the fastest of the entire race at 2 minutes and 4 seconds as he put the bigger names behind him under serious pressure. Hatherley was just off his wheel and then followed a long line of chasers as they snaked through the engaging and entertaining track. Luke Moy is also heading to the World Cups in Brazil and was showing good form as he passed Hatherley on the start-finish line. Van der Walt was feeling the heat from behind. This trio managed to put vital seconds into the rest of the contenders, and soon Moyer passed Van der Walt and on his way to an impressive win.
Stoked, our first elite win. I think Alan had a bit of a slow punch or something, so I mean that helps. But yeah, unfortunately for him. But yeah, super stoked.
Yeah, a bit of a different one. Yeah, I made a mistake in the start. There was a start lap that was added because of the previous race's bottlenecks, and I wasn't paying attention in the beginning. So yeah, I turned a bit early and got overtaken there. Went down the first downhill following the wheels. It was obviously super dusty, and I followed a bit closely and just hit a rock with the sidewall. And had a flat from there on. Luckily I had an insert, so it wasn't completely flat, but still to do an entire short track on an insert, at half a bar tire pressure is never going to be easy. And yeah, fair play to Luke, he was flying. He wasn't making it easy at all for me. Just tried my best to consolidate and get a result, and yeah, to come out second, it's all good then.
Thrilling racing to kick off 3 days of amazing mountain bike action, just a stone's throw from the busy Joburg city centre. The next morning saw the cross-country Olympic races taking place. In the women's race, Tyler Jacobs in the under-23 national champions jersey was super strong, and she lapped the course with confidence and fluency. The first lap at 11 minutes 51 was 53 seconds faster than Lillian Baber, which gave the 20-year-old Jacobs the buffer she needed to ride without serious pressure. 19-year-old Baber, the most recent SA Junior champion, did all she could to mitigate her time losses. Her confidence and execution over the rock drops evidence of the many hours of training she's put in at summer place in Limpopo. Ali Skeepers from Pretoria was holding on to third place. Her fastest lap was 13 minutes and 20 seconds. Tanya Bester, in her first season of XCO racing, was in fourth place. But there was no stopping Tyler Jacobs as she wrapped up a dominant win. Her time for the 6 laps, 1 hour, 13 minutes and 34 seconds, 7 minutes and 23 seconds ahead of second placed Lillian Baber.
It was a really nice course, so shout out to the organisers for getting us a really cool course to race on. It was super fun.
It was hard, it was fast, much better than the provincial. It was hard. Amazing track. It's the first time I'm in Thaba. I never tried the drops and anything, so it was a bit difficult for me in the beginning, but got the rhythm and yeah, for the next one.
The vibe was building at Balwin Sport. It's a venue tailor-made for spectators. Access to the course is very easy. Next up, the youth men, who would race 5 laps of the 3.5 kilometre track. Each lap had 96 kilometres of climbing, which meant they would do 17.5 kilometres with 480 metres of grueling uphill riding. But the numbers do not in any way do justice to just how demanding this track is. The 36 under-16 racers would be tested to their very limits, technically, physically and mentally. The early leader was Sean Loeb, Namibia, followed by Ruan Kluti from the Eastern Cape. The rock drops did cause a few crashes.
His back wheel clipped a rock, and when he went over, I just went straight into him, over him, and it was hectic to get our bikes and get up quickly.
One of my best races ever. I was just feeling good from the start on. And from lap 2 on, the pace was a bit slow, so I overtook and put the pressure on. Then I saw I had a gap, and from there on it was just flat out.
Beatrice Malherbe, I'm from Cape Town. Paul in specific, we are M-Race coaching systems. That's our main aim, is to get these juniors through to under 23 and elite level.
A huge field of 45 riders tackled the 6-lap junior men's race.
It was a good day out today, racing juniors with the UCI Junior World Series. It was a really good race. Boys were on fire today. Roger and Sam Cleary were definitely stronger riders than I was today. I probably went a little too hard in XCC yesterday. It was really good. We managed to stick it out together until I think the 4th lap where Sam he dropped off, and Roger really was giving it gears. And no, it was good. We kept the pace high, and unfortunately Roger had a flat tyre on lap 5 down the rock garden, so I went into the lead and I just managed to hold on and I'll take the win today. Thank you to Wendell, Cycling South Africa, and all the guys here. It was a great event, a great track, and loved every second of it.
The final event of the Saturday's action was the elite men's XCO race. 32 riders lined up according to their XCC placings a day earlier, as they took off for their 8 laps. After a furious scramble for the whole shot, it was the black-clad Cannondale factory racing man Hatherley who assumed control. Moya, Masi Ambrosi, Ernie Roots, Palavat, Ignatius Dupree all following. Hatherley, though, was a man on a mission. Just a few weeks away from the first round of the UCI World Cup in Brazil, he was in serious race mode. His first lap of 10.03 was 10 seconds faster than the next best by Luke Moya. Youngsters Masi Ambrosi and Ernie Roots were holding their own early on. Not so for national champion Phil Bass.
Yeah, that was a tough one for me. Bad start, bad middle part, bad end. Yeah, legs are just, fried. It's a week after Epic and definitely feeling it. Yeah, I think another week then I'll probably be good to go again. It's a great event. It's close to where I live, so yeah, worthwhile to come out.
Race ended 7th, just under 7 minutes behind the dominant winner, Alan Hatherley, who was 2:10 clear of second place Ernie Roots, with Moy in third.
Really good race for me today, kind of the last preparation race for me before the World Cup season kicks off in Brazil. I really wanted to test the shape. It's a really tough course here. Thaba Trails really does test the legs. Yeah, I led the race from the beginning and just took control and managed to test myself nicely, and yeah, really happy to take the win today. Bit of redemption from yesterday's bad luck and a nice confidence booster leading into the World Cup season.
Great to see so many youngsters at the sharp end. Balwin Sport, with considerable support from Suzuki South Africa, who are the day's sponsors, presented a third day's racing with the Enduro Racing SA Cup on the Sunday.
Very excited, can't wait to drop in.
Hopefully don't get beaten by any juniors today, but probably going to happen.
The facial is, it's just for speed, man, nothing but the speed. Eh?
Just under 100 Enduro riders headed out for a day's seriously fun racing.
Completely different weather today. It's gone from super dry to nice and wet, so we're going to have an awesome day out there.
No timing going up, but the clock starts on the descent.
Back to Owen. I got the old Enduro push going, nice and early in the morning. Hopefully getting to the rock slabs before there's too much mud on them, but I'm going to slip and slide a little today.
Jason Bull was certainly amongst the podium favourites as he set off on the first of 7 stages. This is all about combining skill and speed to get to the bottom of the run as fast as possible. Consistency is key, and the various category winners would be determined by the fastest combined time for all 7 stages. The overnight rain had removed dust as an irritant, but it made for some very slippery and muddy sections. The upside was the surface in some parts was very grippy. Matt Lombardi, like Bull, has had experience in the ultra-competitive UCI Enduro World Series. He's another who'd be fighting it for the overall men's elites win. Super fast and great lines. A drop chain cost precious seconds for this rider. Catherine McGowan lost her line and went down. It's all about consistency over the 7 stages. Bull here was 7th, 5th, 6th, 8th, 2nd and 3rd. Good enough for 3rd overall amongst the elite men. Kira Duncan is a super fast and skilled rider. The KwaZulu-Natal man won 2 stages. His worst result was 10th on stage 3, all of which gave him an overall time of 14 minutes, 0.021 seconds. Frankie Dutoy was the leading woman.
Yeah, so far so good. Started out quite slick, but trying to just keep it consistent over fast. And so far so good. I think it's going well.
It's been alright. You caught me in stage 2 with a lock rear shock, just panicking my way down. It's been good. Just keeping it slow. This is more training than anything for me. Having a good time.
Yeah, quite on the edge, eh? We've been kind of rolling the dice between pushing and trying to look for grip and trying to stay on the bike, but I think for the most part I've been pretty clean, looking for some like dry line somewhere, but you know.
Matt Lombardi would be second to Kira Duncan, while DH star Rory Kirk had a tough day.
Wasn't ideal. We did the stages in a pretty weird order. I think we did 5, 6, 4, 3, and then on stage 1, or we did 2, and then stage 1, my derailleur exploded. But yeah, I was kind of on par, I think, with the times.
It was a good one. First time racing here, so I didn't really know what to expect, and especially with the rain last night, didn't know how the trails would react to that. But I was happy with how I rode. Maybe a little bit too conservative, but I'm happy with how it came together.
Yeah, thanks man, it was an awesome day. I'm really stoked it went the way that it did. After practicing in the dry and you come to the race in the wet, you don't quite know how hard you can push it and what to expect. So started off a little bit easy, just wanted to keep rubber side down and managed to do that all the way through from stage 1 to 7. So yeah, pretty stoked. It was a really fun day out, enjoyed the tracks, and yeah, Thaba was pretty challenging, but I enjoyed the challenge, so it was great.
Kira Duncan took the win, Matt Lombardi second, Jason Bull third, followed by veteran Danny Fowler and junior Luca Zitzman.